got the opportunity to experience the upside of all this inner work, discovering wounds, channeling their effect throughout the ages on not just myself and my personal chronological history in this life experience that we share, but throughout all history, back through universal history. That's a whole lot to be working through and releasing. So, the upside, I find myself normally, because of my circumstances, it would be something like I wasn't paying attention, I was zoning out, dwelling on something, and spill my coffee. And I would be like, oh my god, now how am I going to clean this up? Yes, I have disinfecting wipes. I can use those, but oh my god, the container's almost empty. I don't have money to replace them. What am I going to do the next time I need to clean up? And just work myself into a depression and just found my circumstances totally depressing all day, every day, and not even wanting to focus on them in the least. And after so long of being so careful not spilling anything, I like my coffee pot, it had one of the lips that when it's full and you pour it, it just goes down and spills everywhere. Couldn't help it. So I'd put it on the edge of my cup and just barely tip it. Well, this time I did that and it slipped off the edge of the cup and coffee went, and I just laughed. And then I delighted in my response was just to laugh. Like, it wasn't a big spill. It was no big deal. It didn't matter. Didn't worry about how I was going to clean it up, how I was going to replace those supplies. And my circumstances and the way that I have to do things, like, I don't have a flushing toilet. I have to use a compost toilet, which, according to my life principles, yes, that's how I'd like to live, off the grid and all that. I'm just not in an off-grid community, and so it has to be handled a little bit differently, and it's not all exciting. It isn't done how I would do it. So all these things that would normally frustrate and aggravate me, I don't even think about over the last couple of days. My responses and my reactions, I don't even have beliefs about them that assert themselves. So it was a relief. When I woke up yesterday, I had energy. I didn't feel like going back to sleep or just laying down and chilling out half an hour after I woke up. And my appetites come back. Not that it was a bad thing that I didn't have the appetite that I had before or previous to my increase in enthusiasm. But then this morning, thinking, because normally once I start to get better, gradually each day I get back into having my full days and all my energy. But I woke up this morning and it was back to just heavy, dragged down weight. Oh, why? Why? And then I could smell the smells. That's what I call them, smells. When I get the whiff of archetypal personality energies coming through. And it starts with the people that I've known, energies that I've connected with, entities that I've connected with. And because I went right down to primordial, back to what was the source of my ultimate creation, my coming into being, and because my DNA includes we've interbred, so most races within humanity, we share a certain amount of DNA and therefore the history of it. So all these energies come through, and it's more than once a day. We've got what they normally call it is 3 a.m. is the Christ hour, and then 3 p.m. is the devil hour. So that's why a lot of people will get the lull at 3 p.m. And a lot of people are up in the middle of the night until or around the hour of 3 a.m. It's because there's supposed to be like a shift change between positive and negative dominance in the energy that we're experiencing. But for me, as usual, like this full moon, I experience the energies leading up to it, and I'm in alignment with the moon rather than like the 111, the gates of the Gregorian calendar, of the matrical, the false energy matrix that they set up when they change the calendars and convince, force, influence people to live by them. So I have the energy building up to these hours, which means I will go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock, like, just give me a good night's sleep. Let me wake with the sun like I normally do. No, I'm up at 1:30 and I'm buzzing, wide awake until after 3 a.m., which means I'm going to sleep at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning when most people are waking up, starting the day, calling me for, appointments and, business matters, official stuff. And that just really drains me right there, having my days interrupted and having to deal with more narrow thinking and the structured, like government systems and doctor's office and all that highly regulating regulatory stuff. Y'all, regular, man. So then I deal with the difference in the vibration in order to interact with these communications. And so then the 3 o'clock lull starts for me around 1:30. I'm just like done. I want to go to sleep. I want to take my nap, which of course eventually, if I allow myself and I don't have distractions or demands on my time and my attention, then I do take a nap. But then I'm up at like other people's bedtime when I'd rather be going to sleep. And it just goes on that way. And it's like, how am I supposed to live life like this? Which for me, it's okay. If I had support systems in place, which I do pretty much, I'm blessed. I can live like this. It facilitates this, other than the interruptions to it, which are as few as possible. And for me, twice a week is too much, like to leave for appointments and stuff like that. It just throws it off. But it's unavoidable in this system of things. Like, even if I got uber rich, money needs managing. It would be ugh. But if I had healthy food, a healthier environment, a camper, it's great. I'm glad I have it. It's better than being stuck in a tent or being closed up in a room, in somebody else's house and not being able to make the space my own. But it's all plastic. It's all dissolving. It's not a healthy environment. It's not a healthy... You can't work feng shui in this, But that's the way it is. Hopefully things will change. And hopefully now I've healed, and as I said, every other energy that I've ever been in contact with, like, oh, there's an opening, let's all go through it. That is where my role in the universe, in service to humanity, becomes a living sacrifice. Like, I have to sacrifice all my interests to allow all this energy to just move through my body, pick up all the consciousness that it can, move through my auric field, basically sit still, take the invasion, and just let it all pass through. Try not to latch on to any particular thought patterns, because my subconscious is got everything under control. Just keep my mind straight. Like, that's the only job my conscious mind has, is deal with here and now, and the subconscious is just going to have to deal with, and is more than capable of dealing with everything else that wants attention and tending to. So while it looks like I'm a total disaster and nothing but miserable all the time, it's not true. I have good times. I have good days. It's just right now, humanity's preparing to shift. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done if people want to shift with it. If energies and entities want to shift with it. And there aren't too many people that want to go deep into the subconscious, follow that expanding spiral, revisit and revisit until every piece is pulled out of every experience that has made us cause to get stuck in certain thinking and feeling patterns. So, because there are so few people that want to do that, that puts the burden on those of us who, because we gained momentum doing this for ourselves, we've created a vortex we can't stop. Slow down, eventually it'll drain off. But I've spent just my entire adult life exploring my wounds, how to get over them, how to heal them, introduce new thinking, new belief patterns, new feeling patterns. And so I've created a momentum, and so that's what I'm doing. Kind of stuck in that, trying not to do it, trying to just focus on making my circumstances better. But as I said, momentum has brought me here, and hopefully it will be slowing after the split. And so there's nothing else trying to come in and make it over here when, sorry, you gotta be over there. Glad you're curious, but you don't want to do the work. You want to be there. That's where you're going. So until I'm out of reach of all that, I can be supported on that new road. That would be good. I just keep focusing on that, on my desired state of being. And I know that there are other people out there that are supportive of it. It's just a phase. Trust the process, they say. I'm trusting the process. It's just all a part of the process. The role of living sacrifice. It's more like, oh, really? Do I gotta move? Okay.